Right, back at the bus for another day. What am I up to today? Basically, we are cleaning all the framework that's inside the bus. So last time I think I showed putting all the floor out, all the wall panels. So what I'm doing is going around, and there's a few sections where there's a bit of surface rust. So if you look at that little bit just there, surface rust, just a little bit just there. There's not a hell of a lot, just a few bits on the panels where it looks like over the years water's come in through the windows. But yeah, just gonna give that a sand with the buffer on the grinder and get the glue off. So there's some glue there as well. I'll get rid of all that, and then she'll be ready to put some rust, I guess rust inhibitor on there, rust converter, before we paint it with a protective paint. So that's the job today. So he goes, but I think this will be pretty good. This one's these aren't that bad, this rust. Yeah, a bit of noise there, but as you can see, yeah, that's just surface rust, so that's all just come off quite nicely there. So I'll keep going around the bus and doing all the bits like that, and yeah, that should see me out for the rest of the day. So yeah, it's a long process, but got to make sure we do that and do it right, because if we don't, when we put walls up and floors in and it continues to develop rust over the next few years, then there's really no way we're going to be able to get to it unless we pull everything apart. So I don't want to do that. Hello, end of another day at the bus. Just packing up now to go home. Yeah, still working on getting this floor all buffed up and sanded, and a few rust patches cleaned up. But yeah, no, it's looking pretty good. Not too much different to show from the other day, but yeah, it's a bit slower progress this bit than I thought it would be. Had the girls out here today helping me. Dakota and Nikara are on the tools, which is good. Yeah, I guess the next step is just to continue with this and get all these walls off, get this rust fully cleaned, and then it's a matter of painting. I'm going to paint it with just like some red oxide just to protect the steel. So yeah, hopefully in the next few days we can get all this cleaned up and get onto the painting. But yeah, no, it's coming along nicely. All right, check in again later. Alright, so that's done. Giving that a good pressure clean. Yeah, as I said, I got to do that now, because once this floor goes down, you're never going to do it again. All that dirt was up inside the rails, on the angle line, on all the pumps and valves and hoses, and yeah, if you just don't do it now, it's not going to get done. And it just makes sense to do it now because it's much cleaner, and I can actually see where all the hoses go, all the fittings, any oil leaks. Easy to sort of pick up any oil leaks that might exist, which were hidden by dirt before. So I'll have a quick look at that over the next few days before the floor goes down. But yeah, generally looks pretty good. I'll give you a quick squiz. So there you can see now we've got all the pump. So we've got all the diff and the air tanks, a few valves there. But yeah, it's much neater, much cleaner. Another air tank there. Yeah. So definitely worth doing. It just makes sense. You don't want to drive around with a bunch of mud and dirt in the bus that you're never going to be able to get out. So yeah, I'll wait, head off now and let this dry for the next day or two, and we come back. Well, this weather's probably going to dry in about an hour, but yeah, I'll head off, and next time I come back here we'll start painting. Alright, back again. Hello. So today's job, we've got the bus cleaned, gurneyed. It's all been buffed back. All the metal's been prepared, so we're going to be putting some rust guard on the just a few rusty spots that just need to have this rust converter put on, just to treat a little bit of rust in a few areas, and then we're going to use some of this primer and we'll prime the entire bus. So we'll do it on the walls, we'll do it on the floor, so a fair bit of painting, but yeah, worth doing so we can at least protect the metal for many years to come. You're my little painter. She's speechless when she gets on the camera. If I hit pause, she doesn't stop talking. Alright, so I think one of us will do, I think I'll go around and just do the rust guard, the converter, just put that on a few spots around the bus. Maybe Lisa can just come through and start painting the areas that actually don't need it, which is most of the bus. But yeah, so that's today's job. Right, almost at the end of another day. Did all the painting, all the paint protection today on all the frames and all the beams inside the bus. Almost finished, not quite yet. So I've done most of the walls, the sides. A little bit to go. I've run out of paint. At least it's still going. She's been doing the floor. A little bit more to go tomorrow maybe, and we should be just about ready to start putting this floor down. I got two colours in here because I got the red oxide, which is the primer. But I didn't realise, it's not a big deal, but it's an oil-based primer. And although there's not really much, I guess, no disadvantage, but I kind of like working with water-based paints and water-based oils. Sorry, water-based primers, I guess, instead of oil-based. But the only thing I was thinking, all this stuff, all this red bit that I've done is getting covered up, so it's not a big issue. I don't have to repaint it again. But some of the stuff Lisa's doing on the floor, we're painting on the sides of the rails so you can actually see the paint from underneath the bus. And I want to paint underneath with a water-based, so I don't want an oil-based paint on the floor, I guess. As I said, there's not much difference, but you know, if you paint an oil-based undercoat or primer, then you're pretty much stuck with an oil-based paint if you want to go over the top of it. Whereas if you use the water-based undercoat or primer, you can paint water-based over the top, you can paint oil-based over the top, doesn't matter. So, but yeah, it just lets me use the water-based that I prefer to use. But again, no big deal. But red walls and a white floor or grey floor. So yeah, that's about it for the day. Lisa's still busy going. She must have some paint left. You want to wave, Lise? She's come into her own now. She's a bit slow to get now there's no talking and she's just flat out painting, so I'm not going to interrupt her. Because she... What'd you say? Hey? Cheeky. Yeah, no, I don't want to stop her from working. It's not that common for her to be working so hard, so while she's going I'll let her go. But yeah, anyway, that's almost the end of today. As I said, I got no paint and Lisa's only got a little bit to go. So yes, hopefully we can finish this bit tomorrow and I'll maybe head out to Bunnings and try and find some plywood for marine ply for the floor. And we'll be back here to put it all down. Alright, until next time.